Nature of reading. Importance of reading. Readers who are fluent in the language can recognize the printed words and sentences. They can understand these words and sentences because they have a good understanding of the world. Good readers read for meaning. Nature of reading. Through the reading expert have come up with the various definition of reading according to Band and Tinker. Reading is defined as a complex process which involves the recognition of the printed or written symbols, which serve as the result of meaning built up through the reader's past experience. Anderson also defined reading as a process in which information from the text and knowledge passes by the reader together to produce meaning. There are two major components of reading. First, decoding, recognizing and analyzing words. Second, comprehension, understanding words and ideas. Thus, reading is a combination of being able to recognize or analyze words almost instantly and to understand what the word mean when they are strung together in a sentence, as a paragraph or a longer passage. Three popular models which relate to the decoding and comprehensive aspects which describe how readers construct meaning from written text. Bottom-up model, top-down model, interactive model. Bottom-up model. This model emphasizes the material read and is often described as text-driven. Proponents of this model believe that the material being read is more important to the process than the person who reads the material. Model focuses on the reader's recognition or analysis of the world or decoding instruction. Is 1. Skills-oriented. 2. Basal reader-oriented. 3. Grouping by ability. Top-down model. This emphasizes the reader and is often described as a concept-driven. Proponents of the model believe that the reader is more important to the process reading than the material being read. This is due to the fact that the reader's usually prior knowledge about the topic which he uses to make prediction about the meaning of the selection. His prior knowledge is a powerful influence on his comprehension of the text instruction is 1. Holistic. 2. Literature-based. 3. Flexible in grouping strategies. Interactive model. This emphasizes both the reader and the material being read. The model describes the process in which the reader and the text work together to elicit meaning. Instruction can 1. Be both holistic and skills-oriented. 2. Be literature-based and also use basal readers. 3. Allow for various forms of grouping. The authors of Becoming a Nation of Readers summarize 5 generalizations on reading. These are: reading is a constructive process. Reading must be fluent. Reading requires motivation. Reading is a continuous development skills. And last, reading must be strategic. Thank you.
Factors that affects reading. So there are 5 factors that affect acquisition of reading skills. First is the physical factors. Second is the intellectual factors. Third is the psychological factors. Fourth is the linguistic factors. And lastly, the sociological factors. So let's move on. The first is the physical factors. It is the eyes move the beginning of the one line to the end of the right, then make the return sweep as the eyes move. They note likeness and differences in size, shape, and combination of the letters. Likewise, the reader develops skills in auditory and visual discrimination. Children that suffering from visual, auditory, and other physical defects are seriously handicapped in developing skills such as reading and spelling. It has been demonstrated that various glands of internal secretion, such as thyroid and pituitary gland, affects the behavior. The health of the learner will likely affect his ability to learn and his power to concentrate. Second is the intellectual factors. The innate capacity to learn, intelligence, and mental maturity affect reading performance. So, for example, is being success in school is generally closely related to level of the intellect. Pupils with low intelligence often encounter serious difficulty in mastering schoolworks or etc. Sometimes pupils do not learn because of special intellectual disabilities. So for for us to know that the higher the IQ, the better the reading skills. And knowledge of the nature of the pupil's intellect is considerable value in the guidance of the diagnosis of disability. Third, psychological factors. Feelings about self and about others affect reading performances. Emotional stability leads to better concentration. Interesting topics and an attractive style promotes the desire to read. So, you must have a positive attitude, self-efficacy, and motivation to not only reduce anxiety and comprehension but also encourage yourself to accomplish your task successfully and solve your issues or difficulties while reading. Fourth is linguistic factors. To read well, the readers must understand sound relationship, intonation, stress, rhythm, and pauses. Reading efficiency is dependent on the context, meaning on usage and on sentence structures. It is recognized the fact that the various responses of the individual to any various kind of stimuli that are determined as a good work. Lastly, the sociological factors. Reading is a social process affected by attitudes, loyalties, conflicts, and prejudices. Reading ability is enhanced by social acceptance, by self-enhance, and by cooperation in a group.
Good day everyone, our topic for today is about manner of reading. There are two manner of reading, oral reading and silent reading. Oral reading. In this type of reading, especially to an audience, the element of good speech come to play. Good oral reading habits follow a set of criteria. Number 1, stand up straight and hold the book properly. Number 2, pronounce words correctly and clearly. Number 3, speak loud enough to be heard. Number 4, read taught units. Number 5, read with correct facial expression and voice modulation. Number 6, look at the audience once a while. Silent reading. These rules also enhance speed reading. Number 1, read taught units, not words for words. This is achieved if the reader avoids the following: lip movements, nodding while reading, finger pointing, and sub-vocalization or making sound in the throat. Number 2, choose comfortable sitting position by means A relaxed body, not slouching with humped shoulders. Number 3. Read thought units following left and right eye movements and making correct return sweep. Number 4. Avoid too many regression by forcing your eye to move on the end of the sentence or paragraph. Often the meaning on the unfamiliar word is revealed by context. Number 5. Avoid wall gathering. Concentrate on your reading and the topic at hand.
Good morning, sir. For today's discussion, I will tackle about note-taking speech. What is note-taking speech? Note-taking speech. When you're taking notes while listening, indicate to the following things: know common abbreviated words and use them rephrased. What you are hearing, which speeds up your note-taking. So in short, what you have heard to the speaker should be written for you not to forget the content. In this, the practice of recording information from different sources and platforms. And the writer records the essence of the informations, freeing their mind from having to recall everything. The following may serve as the general guide for the note-taking. First, read carefully all headings to understand the purpose of writing and its organizations. If the material is short and easy, take the note as you read. These notes should consist mainly of keywords that is important or that will remind you of the ideas that you want to remember. If the materials are difficult, read as selections through take note as you read it. And distinguish between important and minor ideas. Make use of topic sentences to find and understand the main ideas of your notes. For lengthy discussion, your notes may come in the form of outline or a summary. What is taking lecture notes? Taking lecture notes, note-taking are also come in the form of recording of important items of information in future use from lectures, oral reports, and interviews. The activity requires skill to listen purposely and with comprehension. While the lecture was going on, you must give your entire attention to comprehension to what is said, to grasping it as a whole, to realizing it intimately, so that afterwards, assisted by brief notes of headings, ideas, names, dates, you reconstruct the lecture's essential features and record in some orderly way. If taking down lecture notes, you should therefore A. Listen attentively, B. Select major point, C. Focus attention to topics and subtopics, and D. Decide which information will be useful, and E. Rephrase author's statement, F. List brief notes in our own words, and last, letter G. Develops notes that deal structural. Summary notes. Modern investigators have found that the sleep is characterized by absence of voluntary motion, loss of awareness, snoring, and change in metabolism, which in turn is manifested in blood pressure. Thank you.
The important elements of public speaking. Important elements of public speaking have 14 elements. First, voice, the sound produced by the vibration of the vocal cords. Second, voice pitch, the highness and lowness of tone. Third, voice volume, the loudness and carrying power of voice. Fourth, voice quality, that which distinguishes one voice from another when pitch, volume, and duration are the same. Fifth, speech rate and pause, consists of number of words uttered per minute and the cessation of speaking within or between sentences. 6. Enunciation and pronunciation, the formation of voice into words and the manner of utterance of word. 7. Gesture, involve the movements of arms, shoulders, hands, or head in the physical expression of thought. 8. Posture and the position or bearing of the body. 9. Facial expression, the aspect and general appearance of the face. 10. Organization of thought, the logical arrangement of ideas. 11. Composition, manner of formulating ideas into effective sentences. 11. Paraphrasing, the grouping of words into small units of thoughts. 13, the use of appeal and subject matter which are important to the audience and induce action. And lastly, audience contact, establishing mental and contact with the audience by taking to its members. Thank you. And
report about bad boys qualities, and these are the bad boys qualities. First, riffing, caused by a failure to bring the vocal cords closely enough together. Second, metallic, caused by usually by too much energy in making tone and by tightness of throat muscles. Third, thiness, caused by lack of resonance. Fourth, hoarseness, caused by a cold or by strain through misuse. Fifth, falsetto, caused by getting resonance from the back part of the hard palate. 6. Weakness, caused by too little breath and by gore. Nasality, caused by letting the soft palate hold down too much. And those are the bad boys qualities.
Forms of prepared speeches. The impromptu talk. This speaking without preparation, where you will find yourself in an unforeseen situation requiring you to give a quick response to something said during a meeting. The extemporaneous talk. You have ample time to prepare your speech, but you will also have adequate time to rehearse your speech prior to facing your audience. The memorized speech. The reciting of the speech from memory is used with success by many speakers. Speaking with notes. You arm yourself with notes to help you remember the points of your speech. Speaking from a manuscript. This type of speaking is not public speaking in the sense that it fulfills the need for verbatim delivery. Forms of speeches for special occasions. The interview. An interview is purposive conversation aimed at gathering information or at persuading. The introduction. There are times when we are called upon to introduce a speaker. The announcement. Making an announcement is speaking briefly to present information or to promote an idea or event. The nomination and acceptance of nomination speech. The nomination of candidates for the offices are an integral part of democratic government procedures. The presenting and receiving of awards speech. This kind of talk comes to the fore during moments when you present or receive an award. The radio or television talk. Radio and television speech has much the same purposes as other short talk type of speaking.
Forms of speeches and general purposes. We have 5 parts. The informative speech. In the informative speech, the speaker's intention to inform the audience is often blended with his desire for audience belief. Second, the inspirational speech. Speeches whose aim is to impress or to elevate the spirit are inspirational in nature. 3. The entertaining or graceful speech. This speech entertainment has for its main purpose the enjoyment of the audience by letting them light-hearted or funny stories. 4th, the persuasive speech. When a speaker wishes the audience to do something about the situation he presents. Lastly, the argumentative speech. Speeches intended to induce belief by force of reason and manner of presentation. Thank you and God bless.